Dracula. The most famous vampire of all time, Dracula is a fictional character from Bram Stoker's 1897 novel, based loosely on the historical figure Vlad the Impaler. He represents the archetype of the vampire, feeding on human blood to remain immortal. With his ability to shapeshift into a bat, wolf, or mist, Dracula has become a symbol of both horror and seduction. Skinwalker. From Navajo folklore, a skinwalker is a type of malevolent witch capable of transforming into animals or other humans. These shapeshifters can use their powers for evil purposes, often seeking to cause harm or death. Skinwalkers are feared as beings who have broken cultural taboos and gained dark, supernatural abilities. Wendigo. The Wendigo is a cannibalistic spirit from the folklore of Algonquian-speaking tribes, particularly associated with the northern forests of the United States and Canada. Often described as gaunt and emaciated, with glowing eyes and a heart of ice, Wendigos are eternally hungry for human flesh, symbolizing insatiable greed and winter starvation. Chupacabra. First reported in Puerto Rico in the 1990s, the Chupacabra is a modern mythological creature that allegedly preys on livestock, particularly goats, by sucking their blood. Descriptions vary, but it is often depicted as a reptilian or canine creature, with sharp spines along its back. Banshee. A figure from Irish mythology, the Banshee is a female spirit who wails to foretell the death of a family member. Often seen as a woman dressed in white or gray, with long flowing hair, the Banshee is a harbinger of death, her cry believed to be an omen that someone close will soon pass away. Jinn. In Arabian and Islamic folklore, Jinn are supernatural beings created from smokeless fire. They possess free will and can be good, evil, or neutral. Jinn can take many forms, from invisible spirits to animals or human-like figures. Often associated with magic, Jinn are known for granting wishes, but their gifts may come with unintended consequences. Kitsune. In Japanese folklore, Kitsune are fox spirits known for their intelligence and magical abilities, particularly shape-shifting into human form, often as beautiful women. Kitsune can be both protectors and tricksters, depending on their mood, and are believed to grow more powerful with age, gaining additional tails as they do. Krasue. A chilling figure from Southeast Asian folklore, particularly in Thailand and Cambodia. The Krasue is a female spirit that appears as a floating head, with internal organs hanging beneath it. By day, she appears as an ordinary woman, but at night, she detaches from her body to hunt for blood and raw flesh. Werewolf. One of the most famous shapeshifters in Western folklore, werewolves are humans who transform into wolves, often under the light of the full moon. This transformation is typically linked to a curse or a bite from another werewolf. Werewolves are depicted as uncontrollable, savage, and driven by bloodlust. Mothman. A modern legend from Point Pleasant, West Virginia. The Mothman is described as a large, humanoid creature with glowing red eyes and giant wings. First sighted in the 1960s, the Mothman is often considered an omen of disaster, with its sightings linked to tragic events such as the collapse of the Silver Bridge in 1967. Bigfoot, Sasquatch. Bigfoot is a large, ape-like creature said to inhabit the forests of North America, particularly in the Pacific Northwest. Sightings describe a tall, hairy bipedal figure that remains elusive and difficult to capture on film. Bigfoot has become a cultural icon, representing the mystery of the unknown wilderness. Yeti. The Yeti, also known as the Abominable Snowman, is a large, ape-like creature said to inhabit the snowy regions of the Himalayas. Similar to Bigfoot, the Yeti is a cryptid that has been part of local folklore for centuries, with alleged sightings but no definitive proof of its existence. Siren. In Greek mythology, sirens are dangerous creatures, half woman, half bird, who lure sailors to their deaths with their enchanting voices. Their songs would lead sailors off course, causing them to crash their ships on rocky shores. Sirens represent the dangers of temptation and deceit. Mermaid. Mermaids are mythical sea creatures with the upper body of a woman and the tail of a fish. Found in folklore from around the world, mermaids are often depicted as both benevolent and dangerous. In some stories, they rescue sailors, while in others, they lure them to their deaths beneath the waves. Kraken. The Kraken is a legendary sea monster said to dwell off the coasts of Norway and Greenland. Described as a giant squid or octopus The Kraken was said to be large enough to drag entire ships under the sea. It represents the unknown dangers of the deep ocean and has become a symbol of maritime mystery. Leviathan. In biblical texts, Leviathan is a massive sea monster symbolizing chaos and destruction. It is often depicted as a giant serpent or dragon capable of causing massive storms and devouring ships. Leviathan has come to represent untamed forces of nature. Basilisk. The basilisk is a mythical creature said to be the king of serpents, often depicted as a giant snake or lizard. According to legend, it has a deadly gaze or breath that can kill anyone who looks directly at it. In some stories, only a weasel or the sound of a rooster's crow can kill it. Phoenix. The phoenix is a legendary bird that is cyclically reborn from its own ashes after dying in flames. Found in ancient Egyptian and Greek mythology, the phoenix symbolizes immortality, renewal, and the sun's rising and setting. Its ability to rise again after death makes it a powerful symbol of resilience. Griffin. The griffin is a mythical creature with the body of a lion and the head and wings of an eagle. In ancient mythology, griffins were seen as guardians of treasure and symbols of strength and courage. They were believed to possess great intelligence and were often used in heraldry. Minotaur. The Minotaur, from Greek mythology, is a creature with the body of a man and the head of a bull. It was trapped in the labyrinth, a complex maze designed by Daedalus, and fed on human sacrifices sent by King Minos. The hero Theseus eventually killed the Minotaur, ending its reign of terror. Cyclops. The Cyclops are one-eyed giants from Greek mythology, most famously represented by Polyphemus in Homer's Odyssey. These creatures were often portrayed as brutish and violent, though some were also master blacksmiths, forging weapons for the gods. Hydra. The Hydra is a multi-headed serpent from Greek mythology. Each time one of its heads is cut off, two more grow back in its place, making it nearly impossible to kill. The hero Hercules defeated the Hydra as one of his 12 labors by cauterizing the neck stumps after severing its heads. Chimera. The Chimera is a monstrous creature from Greek mythology, typically depicted as a lion with the head of a goat emerging from its back and a snake for a tail. The Chimera was a fearsome beast that terrorized the countryside before being slain by the hero Bellerophon with the aid of the winged horse Pegasus. Gorgon, Medusa. Medusa, the most famous of the Gorgons in Greek mythology, had snakes for hair and could turn anyone who looked at her into stone. She was once a beautiful woman, but after angering the goddess Athena, she was transformed into a monster. The hero Perseus famously beheaded Medusa using a reflective shield to avoid her deadly gaze. Naga. In Hindu and Buddhist mythology, the Naga are serpent-like beings that can take human form. Often seen as protectors of water and treasures, Nagas can be both benevolent and vengeful. They are associated with fertility, rain, and the underworld. Dullahan. The Dullahan is a headless rider from Irish mythology, often depicted as carrying his own head under his arm. He rides a black horse and is considered a harbinger of death. If the Dullahan calls out someone's name, that person is doomed to die soon after. Rakshasa. Rakshasas are shape-shifting demons from Hindu mythology, often depicted as powerful warriors with animalistic features, such as fangs and claws. They are known for their cunning and cruelty, frequently appearing as antagonists in Indian epics like the Ramayana. Aswang. The Aswang is a shape-shifting monster from Filipino folklore, capable of transforming into various creatures such as a bat or dog. It is said to prey on the weak, especially pregnant women and children. The Aswang has vampiric traits, feeding on blood and internal organs. Pontianak. The Pontianak is a vengeful female spirit from Malaysian and Indonesian folklore, believed to be the ghost of a woman who died during childbirth. She is said to appear as a beautiful woman who lures men to their deaths, then reveals her true form as a decaying corpse. La Llorona. La Llorona, or the Weeping Woman, is a figure from Mexican folklore. The story tells of a woman who drowned her children in a fit of rage and now roams rivers and lakes, crying out for them. She is said to abduct children, mistaking them for her own lost offspring. Baba Yaga. Baba Yaga is a witch-like figure from Slavic folklore, known for living in a hut that stands on chicken legs. She is both a villain and a wise woman, capable of aiding or harming those who seek her out. Baba Yaga represents the ambiguity of fate and the unpredictable nature of the supernatural. Kappa. In Japanese folklore, the kappa is a water-dwelling creature resembling a reptilian humanoid. It is known for pulling people into the water, especially children, though it can be outwitted by showing respect or giving it cucumbers, which it loves. Kappa are both mischievous and dangerous. Oni. Oni are ogre-like demons from Japanese folklore, often depicted as giant, fearsome creatures with red or blue skin, horns, and sharp claws. They are said to bring calamities and misfortune and are often found in hellish realms or causing havoc in the human world. Tengu. Tengu are bird-like creatures from Japanese mythology, often depicted as half-human, half-bird beings with long noses. They are associated with both mischief and the protection of the mountains and forests. Tengu are skilled martial artists and are often seen as guardians of sacred spaces. Selkie. Selkies are mythological beings from Celtic and Norse folklore, capable of transforming from seals into humans by shedding their skin. Stories often tell of Selkies who are captured by humans when their seal skin is stolen, forcing them to stay on land until they can retrieve it and return to the sea. Draugr. Draugr are undead creatures from Norse mythology, typically the spirits of warriors or kings who guard their burial mounds. These beings are known for their superhuman strength, ability to increase their size, and their thirst for vengeance. Draugr can rise from the dead to punish those who wrong them. Succubus, incubus. In Western demonology, a succubus is a female demon that seduces men, while an incubus is a male demon that preys on women. These demons are said to visit people in their sleep, draining their energy through intimate encounters, often leaving the victims weak or ill. Valkyrie. Valkyries are warrior maidens from Norse mythology who choose which fallen warriors will enter Valhalla, the Hall of the Slain, to fight alongside Odin during Ragnarok. They are often depicted as beautiful and fierce, riding into battle to escort the souls of the brave. Kelpie. The Kelpie is a shape-shifting water spirit from Scottish folklore, often appearing as a horse that lures people to ride it, only to drag them into the water to drown them. Kelpies can also take human form and are associated with rivers, lakes, and other bodies of water. Pucha. Puka. In Irish folklore, the Pucha is a shape-shifting spirit that can take the form of various animals, such as a horse, rabbit, or dog. While sometimes mischievous, the Puka can also be helpful, offering guidance or protection to those it favors. Troll. Trolls are creatures from Scandinavian folklore, typically depicted as large, slow-witted beings who dwell in caves or under bridges. They are often hostile to humans and are known for their greed and tendency to turn to stone when exposed to sunlight. Elf. Elves are supernatural beings from Germanic and Norse mythology, often associated with nature and magic. They are typically depicted as tall, beautiful, and immortal, with a connection to the natural world. Elves can be both helpful and harmful, depending on how they are treated. Fairy. Fairies are small, magical beings from European folklore, particularly in Celtic traditions. They are known for their beauty, mischief, and sometimes malevolent behavior. Fairies live in a hidden realm and can interact with humans, often leading them astray or granting them wishes with unintended consequences. Goblin. Goblins are mischievous and malevolent creatures from European folklore, often depicted as small, ugly beings with a love for causing trouble. They are known for their greed and trickery, sometimes stealing from or harming humans who cross their path. Leprechaun. Leprechauns are small, bearded men from Irish folklore, often depicted as cobblers or mischievous tricksters. They are said to hide pots of gold at the end of the rainbow and will grant 3 wishes to anyone who captures them, though these wishes often have unintended consequences. Brownie. In Scottish and English folklore, brownies are small, helpful household spirits that perform chores in exchange for food. They are generally benevolent, but if they are mistreated or given clothing, they may leave and never return. Ogre. Ogres are large, brutish creatures from European folklore, often depicted as man-eating giants. They are typically slow-witted but immensely strong, and are known for their cruelty and violent tendencies. Ogres feature prominently in fairy tales such as Puss in Boots and Jack and the Beanstalk. Golem. A golem is a creature from Jewish folklore, typically made of clay or stone and brought to life through mystical means. The golem is often created to serve and protect its creator, but can sometimes become uncontrollable. The most famous golem legend comes from Prague, where Rabbi Lowe is said to have created one to defend the Jewish community. Zombies are reanimated corpses, typically depicted in modern pop culture as mindless creatures driven by an insatiable hunger for human flesh. While the idea of zombies originated in Haitian voodoo, where they were believed to be created through magic, they have since become a staple of horror fiction, representing fears of death and contagion. Poltergeist. Poltergeists are malevolent spirits from German folklore, known for causing physical disturbances, such as loud noises or objects moving without explanation. Unlike traditional ghosts, poltergeists are often associated with violent, chaotic energy and are known to haunt homes and people, rather than specific locations. Slender Man. Slender Man is a modern urban legend, originating from an online horror forum in 2009. The character is depicted as a tall, faceless figure in a suit who stalks and abducts children. Slender Man's creation sparked a wave of internet horror stories, known as creepypastas, and has since become a symbol of digital age folklore. Shadow People. Shadow people are dark, shadowy figures reported by individuals around the world, often seen out of the corner of the eye or during episodes of sleep paralysis. These beings are often associated with feelings of fear or dread, and are considered by some to be supernatural entities or manifestations of negative energy. Black-eyed children. Black-eyed children are an urban legend of mysterious children with completely black eyes who appear on doorsteps or in lonely places asking for help. They are said to exude a sense of fear and unease, and those who encounter them report strange occurrences afterward. The origins of this legend are relatively recent, gaining traction in the 1990s. The Jersey Devil. The Jersey Devil is a creature from American folklore, said to inhabit the Pine Barrens of New Jersey. It is often described as having the head of a goat, wings like a bat, and hooves, and is said to have been born as the cursed 13th child of a woman named Mother Leeds. Sightings of the Jersey Devil date back to the 18th century. Thunderbird. The Thunderbird is a powerful creature from Native American mythology, especially in the cultures of the Pacific Northwest. It is said to be a massive bird capable of causing thunder and storms with the beating of its wings. The Thunderbird is considered both a protector and a harbinger of great power. Loch Ness Monster, Nessie. The Loch Ness Monster, affectionately known as Nessie, is a legendary creature said to inhabit Loch Ness in Scotland. Descriptions of Nessie vary, but it is typically depicted as a large, serpentine creature. Despite numerous reported sightings and investigations, no conclusive evidence has been found to prove its existence. Nuckelavee. The Nuckelavee is a monstrous creature from Scottish folklore, known for its horrific appearance, a horse-like body with a human torso fused to it, lacking skin and with exposed muscles. It is said to live in the sea but comes onto land to cause plagues and other disasters. Ammit. Ammit is a creature from ancient Egyptian mythology, often depicted as part lion, part hippopotamus, and part crocodile. Known as the devourer of the dead, Ammit would consume the hearts of those deemed unworthy by the god Osiris during the weighing of the soul, ensuring their eternal destruction. Anansi. Anansi is a trickster figure from West African folklore, often depicted as a spider or a man with spider-like attributes. He is known for his cunning and cleverness, often using his wits to outsmart others. Anansi stories spread throughout the African diaspora and are still popular in Caribbean and African-American folktales. Tikbalang. The Tikbalang is a creature from Philippine folklore, often described as having the body of a human and the head of a horse. It is said to cause travelers to become disoriented and lose their way in the wilderness. Tikbalangs are known for their mischievous behavior and their ability to shapeshift.